Hello everybody, this is Freddy from Turn Vertical, and in today's video I'm going to walk you through creative testing in 2023. I'm going to show you how we do creative testing for all of our 7-figure clients and how you can do the same to get effective results with your creative testing. So yeah, I would say let's get right into it. First things first, the testing campaign. How do I set it up? What is it? Is it an ABO, CBO, all that kind of fun stuff. So basically, your testing campaign should always be a purchase objective CBO campaign, right? ABO versus CBO is really only the question that that comes up because everything else makes sense. Our scaling campaigns are CBO. If you watch some of the other videos, everything is CBO basically. So why should we use CBO for testing? Basically, CBO has a better efficiency because Facebook can determine where they spend the budgets. So it's better than ABO. Because there you have to adjust the budgets manually and you might get some higher CPAs overall. Oftentimes when I recommend CBO for testing, the question comes up, what if one ad set gets 95% of the spend and the other one is only getting like 5%? In short, this means your other ad that's only getting 5% is shit. Reason for that is Facebook can determine on a very small amount of impressions whether an ad set is good or not, basically. So let's say one ad set gets like 50 bucks in spend. That's like 2,000 impressions because the CPM is like 25, and it's not getting any spend after that, right? You have another ad set running and that's getting all of the other spend. Ad set 100% of spend or 95% of spend. This means the other ad set is simply not good enough for Facebook to give it any spend, right? It's not getting engagement, it's not getting like view time, it's just not overall good ad. So this is how I do creative testing, how I recommend to do it for every smaller brand. If you have a lot of budget and you're like, okay, we can get away with some of the CPAs being higher because we want the data of the creative tests, right? Maybe you have lots of different UGC creators and only one is getting spent, but you want to determine, why are the other ones not getting spent? What's bad about that particular ad, right? Then you might be running ABO in order to sacrifice a CPA, but to get more learnings from your creative tests. That's usually something I recommend. If you're spending more than 10K per day, you can probably afford, some of these, like say your testing budget is 20%, which would be 2K, and maybe like 10, 15, 20% of that budget gets wasted. Then you can maybe afford that waste in order to get more data, right? That's always a question. In my opinion, it's a question, data versus efficiency. If you want to be efficient, use CBO. If you want to get more data faster, then use ABO. Okay, now that we've covered that, basically CBO, purchase conversion objective, I'm going to walk you through the ad set setup that we use. And it's very simple. Let me zoom out here a little bit. Basically, the way, first of all, let's cover, the target audience, etc. And for the ad set, it's always broad, 18 to 65 plus, automatic placements, and men, women, gender. Reason for that is, if you do a test, you only want to change one variable. Only change one variable. And for example, if you, let's say, have an ad, that you think appeals to more women. Throw away my pen. Let's say you have an ad that you think appeals to more women, and then you change the gender from men to women. That is effectively not a creative test because you changed two variables, and now it's maybe the creative better or worse because you changed the gender, but maybe it's better or worse because you changed the creative. So, whenever you start creative testing, you create a new creative testing campaign, highly recommend you to do broad 1865 automatic placements, men, women. If you, let's say, for example, have a product that is purely for women and 90% of your customers are women, and all you do is target women on Facebook, you don't target men at all, then it's totally okay to do women as kind of the gender. But then make sure for every other test that you run, you do women. Because, for example, if you only run women's ads and all of a sudden you want to test, do men or are men also good? The way you do this then is you take your best ads and change the winner from men from women to men and women, right? That's how you do that particular test. But if you're a normal brand, some of your buyers are female, some of your buyers are men. Even though you might not get any 65 plus purchases, maybe it's like only 5%, you still keep it at 18, 65 plus. Facebook knows where to spend the budget. They know on which placements to spend the budgets. Very, very rarely there's like a miss budget allocation on certain placements, right? Keep it broad, 18 to 65 plus automatic placements, men, women. That's what we do basically on every single account. Then, attribution window. It's more of a not really personal answer, but basically, if you're at a lower budget, let's say you're sitting below like 2-3K, I would highly recommend you to do 7-day click, 1-day view. Simply because this may not be the most accurate data, but if you're not spending that much, Facebook can't get a lot of data. With a 1-day click attribution window, they would get less data from your ads. But if you instead, change this to 7-day click, 1-day view, Facebook gets more data and can optimize in a better way. And that's why it's, especially at lower spending accounts, even if your purchase, person goes to your website and purchases within like 1 hour, essentially 1 click, 1 day, it's still better to keep it at 7-day click, 1-day view because Facebook can get more data. And then how we differentiate the creative test is basically by angle and creative type, right? You might be running, what is an angle, what is a creative type? Let me walk you through that as well, really quick. Basically, put a pen here, angle could basically be anything. Let me get a bit more specific. An angle could be anything why somebody would want to buy your product, right? This could be, for example, maybe, you have a super fast shipping. Maybe your product has the best quality. Maybe, for example, let's take an example. I have a client selling underwear. And some of the benefits or angles, which I think, why people buy the underwear is, it's better comfort. And, unique designs. These could be angles which you could, build creatives around. Basically think, why would somebody buy my product? This could also be, for example, if you sell a shoe, you sell it to men and women, but you could create an angle around, for moms that walk a lot with their strollers. Maybe this could be an angle, right? Like, get creative. An angle could be a lot of different things, and it doesn't have to be particularly only the benefits. It could be, again, a whole lot of things. And then the creative type is basically what do we use to sell that angle, right? Could be, most basic example is image, video, or let's say UGC, video, or if you dive deeper into the image, video, image. If you dive deeper into the image section, it could be like press image, or testimonial image, or us versus them image, right? It could be all of the creative types that are out there to sell your product. Us versus them image, us versus them video, UGC video, etc., etc. It could be a whole lot of different things. And then we kind of combine, the angle with the creative type. So, for example, we could have a creative, we could have one ad set could be, unique designs, press image. Maybe there's like a press release about our super unique designs out there, right? Or it could be, better comfort testimonial. Maybe there's like a testimonial out there from one of our customers, that talks about the extreme comfort of the pants and kind of want to convert that into an image or, testimonial image. This is, how we kind of combine angles with creative types. And once you've done this, you found maybe you're winning, your angle 1, creative type 1, you start going deeper into the ads level, right? And this is where, things are super important. Again, only change one variable. It's super important if you do a creative test that you use the same headline and same ad copy over and over. Let's say you have like one winning headline and one winning ad copy. You know, you use this headline and this ad copy for that particular creative test. If you want to do a headline test, for example, on the other way, it's the other way around. Now, if you want to do a headline test, you take your best creative and your best ad copy to really, eliminate the possibility of something else, changing your CPA. If you do, like, for example, if you test a new headline and a new creative in one ad set together, you can't really say again, was it because of the headline or was it because of the creative type? That's why it's super important, again, to keep the same headline and same ad copy over and over again in all of your creative tests, unless you found something better, right? If you do a headline test and you find a new winning headline, you can then use that headline for testing. How does the ad setup look like? Basically, we use a maximum of 3 creatives and a maximum of 2 headlines and a maximum of 2 ad copies per ad set, right? 3 creatives are all of the new ones. Headlines, again, are winning ones, and ad copies are winning ones. So the only thing, if you talk about creative testing specifically, not headline testing, not audience testing, not whatever testing, the only thing that changes is the creative. And within each test, we use 3 different creatives. Now, again, how you kind of change these 3 creatives within that particular angle and that particular creative type depends a little bit upon you. Let's say, for example, we stay with it. We have a testimonial with the angle, being better comfort. Testimonial, image, better comfort. How could 3 different creatives look like in this example? We could maybe we have 3 different reviews of 3 different people talking about the better comfort. So we could have image is always the same. Image, let's call it 1. Review 1. Image 1 with review 2, and then image 1, review 3. This is how one test could look like. This could be one ad set. Testimonial, better comfort, image 1, review 1, image 1, review 2, image 1, review 3. You could also turn it the other way around. You could be like image 1, review 1, image 2, review 1, image 3, review 1. But this is a little bit depending upon you, where you think something would make a difference in the performance. Do you think the difference in performance would occur from you using a different image or from you using a different testimonial? It's also a bit tricky, but this highly depends upon you. Let me give you another example, right? For example, you want to test UGC ads. Maybe you want to see if UGC ads work for your account, right? UGC ads, super common nowadays. A lot of people use them. Now, there are different factors that determine whether a UGC ad is, right for you. Let's say also you found your one angle, like you found your winning angle. Maybe it's like better comfort. Maybe that's your winning angle, right? Better comfort is the winning angle. So you build all your UGC ads around that angle, right? You build it around that angle. All of UGC ads feature the better comfort angle. The script is about a better comfort, all that kind of stuff. Now, how do you test this? Basically, you could test whether UGC works for you or not based on the creator. You could have better comfort, creator 1, because not every creator works with every brand. There are worse creators out there, there are better creators out there. Better comfort, creator 2. And then better comfort, creator 3. You want to, basically, the purpose of this test is to find out, does, UGC work for me? You found your best angle, you think this angle is going to work for UGC as well, and then you test different creators, And then within these creators, you then have 3 different ads, You have ad 1, ad 2, and, ad 2, and ad 3. So it's all from the same creators, 3 different ads from the same creator. How do you differentiate these ads now? With the videos, what we like to do is to use different hooks from the same creator. Hook is basically the first 3 seconds of a video. Why do we do that? Simply because the first 3 seconds of a video determine whether somebody keeps watching your video or whether he keeps scrolling. So to find out if a creator is good, it's usually good to test different hooks, because one hook might be shit, but the other one might be better. And if you test a lot of different hooks and it's still not performing, you could say with a good confidence, okay, this creative with this particular angle didn't work. Right? This is how we do creative tests. Again, to sum this up, let me go back to the drawing board here. Basically, CDO, campaign, purchase objective, 1 ad set per creative test. Keep the ad set always the same, broad 18 to 65 plus, automatic placements, men and women as a gender. And then the only thing that you change is, the only variable that you change is the creative in a creative testing environment. You'll keep the same headline, same ad copy, and then how you do creative testing is to differentiate your ad set by angle and creative type. And this way you can start, for example, let's say, super quick example, let me just really explain that for brands that are starting at 0. If you're not starting at 0, you can turn off no. If you've already spent some money on Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff, then you can turn off here. But if you're starting at 0, first thing that I would do is probably to find an angle that works. And the way you find an angle that resonates with your audience the best is probably to really focus on the angle. Is what I meant to say. Is to really make a basic test, right? To find the angle, what I would do, again, this would be like my number 1 task, find an angle. So to find an angle that's winning, write down all of your angles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you test these with image ads, image ads, plain background. Image ads with like a plain background where nothing is really good or bad about that ad. In particular, maybe if you have a white background, and then you just use like a benefit statement, like image ad with benefit statement. And then use 3 different benefit statements for each angle. Basically 3 different headlines. You could say on the image ad, like, you have angle 1, basically angle 1, you have 3 different ads with 3 different, same background, same everything, just, different headline basically. Text overlay. We call it text overlay. 1, text overlay 2, text overlay 3, and then you do this. Let's say you have 4 different angles here that you identified, and you have 3. It's like then you have a lot of different variations, like 3, 6, 9, like 12 different variations. And then let's say, if angle 4, like text only 3 works the best, then you dive deeper into that particular angle, and then you could continue to test image versus video, right? Find an angle that works. Find an angle that works. And then you do more creative type of testing. Maybe you do like angle 1 image versus angle 1 video. And this way you then find out, okay, is an image or a video working better for me? And then once you found this out, you can dive deeper into that into videos. Is it like let's say images tend to work better. Then you do like angle 1 press image, angle 1 testimonial image, angle 1 close up, angle 1 whatever. Basically, you then dive deeper in that particular angle, let's say with videos. That's how I would do creative testing. If you're starting from 0, find an angle that works with like a super basic test. Ideally images, because there's less, variability. Like, for example, with an image, you stop, like first 3 seconds don't matter. Like you can do less wrong with an image, right? Image plain background, you can't do anything wrong with that, Focus, even if you're getting like one angle has like a $10 CPC and the other one has like a $5 CPC, like CPC is not that relevant, but let's say the one angle has like a $100 CPA and the other one has like a $70 CPA, and your target CPA is like 40. It's way above that, but you know, okay, angle 2 with a $70 CPA is way better than angle 1 with a $100 CPA. And this is then how you come always closer to your target CPA. But yeah, this is how we do creative testing, and totally how I would do creative testing if I start from 0. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And yeah, talk to you soon.